Well, Tyler, uh, first off, I want to say thank you. And I've been listening to Secure Team 6 for, let's see, you've been around 10 years. I think 8 of those. Not sure how long I've subscribed, but yeah, been listening almost since the beginning. And man, you're something else, brother. You got a lot of respect for you. And this is why. This is why I'm responding for the first time, really, with a video um, to this one about the footage this guy got. So I got to qualify myself. I have no problem leaving my name or my father's name. My name's Nathan Beakley. That's Bakley. And you can look me up on IMDb. I'm the only Nathan Beakley on there. I've been involved in some really successful documentaries. And but the reason I have to answer this is because I'm pretty sure I know what that black triangle is. And with all the research you've done and what you kind of know what I'm talking about because it's not one of them. It's ours. So I would qualify it as technically not a UFO. It is one of ours, and I can. This is why I can say this. If you look at my father, his name's Commander James E. Beakley. Um, I grew up in Ventura County as a kid. I'm 47. He was a Navy pilot in Vietnam, flew A6s and A7s, was in the Navy for 20 years. He ran our Tomahawk missile program after Vietnam when he got stationed out over in Ventura County at Point Magoo. This is all, you can look all this up. You can contact my dad if you want to. Um, Nicest guy, you know, couldn't have had a better father. But here's why I can say what I could say. Um, is that when Lazar came out with his stuff back in the 80s and the recent stuff, and my dad's seen all this. My dad goes, oh yeah, he goes, I've been at the buildings that Bob said he went to in the 80s. He's like, there's no way he would know about the bill in terms of like just like the one security building where you have to check in. He goes, yeah, I I know what he's talking about. He's sounds like he's been there, you know. And my dad is basically at this after 20 years in the Navy, he became a defense contractor, and he's been a baseball coach, basketball coach, um, and he's his when you go into his office, it's amazing. It's like a military museum. It's so cool, man. He even has stuff like my original Star Wars X-wing toy and like Voltron in there and like the TIE fighter. Like he has that in certain space because it fits into everything. Um, but he's really honest and he won't just like he's seen the Commander David Fravor stuff. He's seen all that. So he knows like him and Fravor could talk for hours and hours and hours. Like they're they're brothers. I mean, that's what even my brother-in-law flew F-14s. Another great guy. But getting to the point, books like Day After Roswell, and you know, Dad's read that obviously. He's a huge book, has a million books, military, anything, and then the stuff like Fire in the Sky. He's seen everything we have, and he can't defend it. His security clearance is that when he when he retired from the Navy, and I was like kind of getting ready to go to college. I go, Dad, I go, there was a few times like, because what they do was they launched the Tomahawk in the 80s off offshore out there, and then they go up and chase it in their A6s and A7s, and we have like footage of that and pictures. Had in my room as a kid, right? We still have photos of that, of like the Tomahawk outside his cockpit, and that's what they were doing. But I go, there was a few times like you couldn't tell us where you're going. Like, what were you doing? And his security clearance was such that it finally he could tell me, he could tell us. He goes, well, we'd send it up, and he goes, you don't send a missile in a straight line towards a target, right? You put it all over the place, around mountains, doing whatever. That's logical. And so they'd go up and chase it, and the base wouldn't tell them what it was doing. That's the point of them chasing it. Well, he goes, we were chasing it to Groom Lake. We were chasing it over there, and it would, they'd they'd follow it and be right next to it. And he wouldn't even care if I showed you the pictures of that stuff that we have. And yeah, it would just hit like this brick building, this brick target. It didn't have a warhead on it, but it would just smash into that, and that's they do their thing, and that's what they were doing. But back then, he couldn't tell us what he was doing. So that's how I can qualify my dad and myself. And um, even at the base, I have a story that I'll tell you on some other video about the one UFO encounter I have, but it was like multiple of them at the same time in zigzags. But I think it was something the military was doing over the like from the base. But it's a weird story in itself. It's the only one I have, but I think it was our stuff testing at night. He wasn't even there. It was just me and my mom. That's a trippy story. That's mine. Um, but in terms of that guy's video, that in terms of, I'm sure you've read DeLong's books, um, and I believe what he's been doing. But I think those black triangles. I mean, like you said before, I think they're they're I would say they're almost the unnickname for them unofficially is TR3Bs, but there is a secret nickname for them that we don't know. But what that guy saw and filmed, oh yeah, man, that's our stuff. That's how advanced our our flight is now. But we're still so secretive about that type of thing. But yeah, black triangle type stuff. Even when Lockheed did that commercial during the Super Bowl years ago, and they did it again, not this year, where they show that craft in the hangar that's real. They did that on purpose, and that thing is real. But that's not what that guy saw. That tells you something when Lockheed leaves a commercial like that. Yeah, look up Lockheed's commercial on on that. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the black triangle stuff is our technology, and there's so many reports of that type of stuff. Um, so yeah, that's what I got to tell you, man. And I respect what you're doing, and I really believe 100% that's what that guy, the footage he got, and that's amazing footage. Like that's really amazing stuff. It's yeah, that's really cool stuff. Um, and I guess yeah, man, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Keep up the good fight. I saw your recent one on the balloons and the trains, and yep, I completely 1,000% agree with what you did there. That was one of your probably finest videos ever, brother. But yeah, you guys go ahead and hit me up anytime, man. Um, I saw your in terms of your business info. I'll email you, and any questions anytime, man. I got you. You know, keep fighting, man. We'll get the truth. You know, we're going. We'll be all right.